Roast that potato!
Roasted. What was that?
You want me to hold it down?
No, it's more containing this way. Gentlemen.
This is Rasputin Actual. I am by the Mech. Over.
Thanks for joining Swamp Sniper. Hit that subscribe button and let's go. In this video, you get a special inside look into what this thing is, who built it, and why they built it. It's called Rasputin. It packs a punch, and it can take a hit. You see, I had started my own airsoft facility in Chesapeake, Virginia called Ballahack Airsoft Field, and for my 10-year anniversary, I decided to have a massive event. This one would have airsoft battle suits and ground drone units. These would be special gameplay mechanisms for the event itself, but the night before, I held a special dinner for airsoft industry people and a live competition for the ground drone units and for the battle suits. I got trophies and everything for those who would win. This is Jet Desert Fox walking in slow motion wearing a weird costume which is not abnormal for him. You see, he is one of the 4 judges. We had Jet, his wife Unicorn Leah, Evic Matt, and Castro from Milsa Media and Enola Gay. Oh my god, it's a video. Stop. Chill out, guys. Chill out. Sadly, 2 out of the 4 ground drone unit competitors couldn't make it to the event, which leaves us with Barbie and Ghost in the Darkness. Barbie was awesome, and it won 2nd place.
So the Barbie is the ballistic artillery roving bullet insertion equipment. It may look a little familiar to some people. It's based off of a pink and purple Jeep Power Wheels. Linear actuator in the front. We have a turret that's connected with just a couple wires, so we can actually take the whole thing off. And hiding inside of there is an M249. So you don't need to see the Barbie to drive the Barbie. We've got the GoPro right here, which is hooked up to a phone sitting on the transmitter. We haven't had a radar gun on this thing yet, but we have run down some neighborhood kids on bicycles. They cannot escape it.
So the Barbie was really cool and they did a great job, but Ghost in the Darkness kind of stole the show.
We wanted something that could be a support vehicle for like a 6 to 8 man platoon and could provide, a support weapon on a platform that could keep up with you and traverse all the unique terrains that we have out here. We use 2 dual motors, each one weighing 15.5 pounds each. They're combined into a planetary gearbox at a 6-to-1 ratio, and that provides us with 400 pounds of torque. The motor can support up to 600 pounds, so you can put 600 pounds on it. We stood on it and drove ourselves around. And the track system can climb up to a 45-degree incline when weighted. We've tested at that. And the 60-amp Sabertooth controller can support up to a max of 30 volts, and that yields a 7-mile-an-hour output. So it can go up to 7 miles an hour on flat terrain, so it can definitely keep up with the platoon. And then we modified the input, so you don't have to put the rounds in the front anymore. We made a spill cap right here.
That thing was so impressive and awesome. Thank you guys for making it. Up next, we got to see some cool entries for the battle suit competition, and this ultimately led to Rasputin.
Up next, we have our last battle suit. Give it up for Rasputin with the folks from Explosive Enterprises.
I'm just gonna let you listen and watch this portion because it's awesome.
Hi, everybody. We're from, I'm Tom Liptak. This is Paul Karras. Our 3rd team member, Ross Radford, unfortunately couldn't make it. He was having some sickness issues, but we're Explosive Enterprises. We're a team from upstate New York. We play at the Western New York Airsoft League, and we're kind of some mad scientists of the area. So the persona of Explosive Enterprises is that we're a weapons developer that just is also a mercenary corporation. So we use our mercenary contracts as an opportunity to test out the wacky stuff that we build for purposes of war. So these are gas springs that actually do redirect all of the weight of these miniguns, which are classic Army M132s, direct them all to the shoulders. So for the operator, these 9-pound miniguns effectively weigh about 1.5 pounds. It's an ergonomic design that's designed to maximize mobility, so the legs are pretty much completely unobstructed. The user can jump, run, do pretty much everything that a normal soldier could do. Armor coverage from the front is 100% effectively. There's only a small gap right here that if the user actually does kind of a turtling motion, can completely protect themselves from gunfire from the front. So they're essentially impervious to any kind of gunfire. So if you unscrew these two front screws here, pop the gun shields off. With 3 screws, these entire miniguns slide off as one package, and you can slide on. We have 2 strafer packages that can go on it, and a couple different air cannons. All the materials that we used on this are low weight. So this is polycarbonate. Lexan is the industry name for it. Extruded aluminum, as I mentioned, and very thin steel for the lower leg armor. The polycarbonate sheeting is used on the upper body and the gun shields. The headpiece, which is lowerable and raisable, is also made of polycarbonate. The user can normally do that if there's not, parts of the armor getting caught up in it. But you're completely protected from pretty much anything at that point. And free to do that. Next slide, please. So the armament, as you can see, is 2 M132 miniguns, which spit out around about 28 rounds per second, but we've downgraded them a little bit for the field rules, so they each fire 24 rounds per second, which is the limit. They each hold 2,000 rounds each for a combined on-armor package of 4,000 rounds, and they are field reloadable. They can be reloaded from the front, easy enough to do with a water bottle if you have someone to give you a hand. Believe it or not, this is actually really easy to put on and take off. It's actually 2 main pieces. The chest plate is linked to the groin protection and the leg protection, and everything else is mounted to this large backpack frame. Paul, if you could spin around real quick. It's mounted all to an Alice frame that basically contains the arms, these 2 packs, your HPA, and a large backpack frame. You can see these 2 little windows here. Each of them has a 720p camera in it. These have a feed that goes to the inside of the suit, and there's 2 screens that are battery powered on the insides of it. So you can actually kind of use it like a corner shot. Stick it out around an arm. You can see me pretty easily right now.
How many fingers, Tom?
Line of sight.
3, 2, middle.
And then as the second feature, we have operator ventilation. There's a 120 millimeter computer fan up in there because we discovered that pretty much as soon as you put that headpiece down, it gets really, really hot and really, really foggy. So with a little bit of air circulation, it makes things a million times better and a million times more comfortable, especially in the southern weather. It does actually have free use of his hands, believe it or not. The guns can bounce around a little bit, but you can freely use a radio or any other kind of communications device that you might want to use. Eventually, we're actually going to integrate communications directly into the helmet. Yeah, your lower legs are pretty vulnerable. Your back has a decent amount of protection, but yeah, we kind of figured that would be a bit of an issue if somebody is behind you. For the field rules, with the balloons, we suspect they're probably going to be mounted up high here. In a to the pain fight, which is essentially what would happen between 2 mech suits, I strongly suspect, Paul, if you could spin around pretty quickly, I think somebody would have difficulty getting behind that to actually shoot at your legs, especially when they're being, blasted by 50 BBs per second worth of minigun fire.
I was really impressed by everyone who entered the competition, but I was blown away by these guys and their dedication. This is what I love in the sport of airsoft, regardless of your style and what you like to play, having fun, being creative, and really diving into it. Was it effective in gameplay? Absolutely it was. And I was fighting on the other team. It was terrifying. Things got very interesting when there was a mech-on-mech battle where they got too close to use full auto, so they decided to just try to grab each other's balloons. And I was very impressed by Rasputin.
all your balloons are popped.
I'm down.
Explosive Enterprises also built these flamethrower kits, and they're crazy. I did a whole interview that I'll show you in a future video. If you want to check them out, I have a link to their Facebook in the description of the video, and I can't wait to show you more awesome creative airsoft stuff. Thank you so much for watching Swamp Sniper, and as always, whatever you do in life, stay safe, enjoy it, be creative, never lose that childlike wonder, and peace.